Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've been wanting to do a video like this for a while. A long while. Hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Super Jesus Jackson. As you all know, I'm a huge Charlie Puth fan. Massive. Gigantic. Enormous. Significant. Okay, I'll stop. But I'm a huge Charlie Puth fan. I've made tons of videos on his content. But I've also, as much as I praise him, I do have a fair bit of criticism for some of his recent music. I reviewed his most recent album and was like, yo, not as great as I wanted it to be, and kind of average at best, as a package, right, as an album. But I still love Charlie Puth, and I still think he's the greatest contemporary pop artist right now. I think he's extremely underrated. I think his production skills are amazing, immaculate. I think his songwriting skills are amazing for the pop genre. I think his melding of jazz and pop is genius. The guy is a prodigy. I mean, he's a pop Mozart. That's who he is. But I stumbled upon this video that I've been wanting to watch for a long time. It's called Charlie Puth Still Sucks, in lowercase letters, of course, by the YouTube channel Honest, also in lowercase. I've been curious to see this video because I love Charlie Puth, of course, and I really kind of put a bookmark on this video to do a reaction because I don't agree that Charlie Puth still sucks. Now, granted, this video did come out about a year ago, around November, literally almost a year ago. Yeah, November 9th, 2022. And I believe they have also made an even more recent video about 7 months ago. Let me just go to the YouTube channel here. Let me look at it. Charlie Puth Being Weird. That is the title of the video. And that one was 7 months ago. Now, I don't really know this YouTuber. I've seen their videos as in like sort of, around my YouTube, algorithm, whatever. You know what I mean? I've seen them floating around. I've never really clicked on them. I've seen a couple, I don't know, not really my style, not really my cup of tea, but I haven't really, fully like analyzed this person's videos. They're probably doing a good job though. I mean, they got 580,000 subscribers, probably way more than I will ever have in my lifetime. And this video has 172,000 views, way more than I have ever gotten for any video. So clearly they're doing really well, and a lot of people agree with their thoughts. So I want to see if I agree, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I don't know what to expect. I really don't. I've sort of kind of danced through the video, and I was like, I don't agree with that, but I kind of see what you're going. So let's watch the whole thing. You, me, whatever. And I'll stop along the way here and there whenever I hear some stuff that I have a problem with. But I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'll end up agreeing with the person. I have no idea. But anyways, here we go. Charlie Puth Still Sucks. My response.
I'm cool with any review. I'm cool with a good review, and I'm cool with a bad review. I'm cool with a lukewarm review, as long as there's a reaction. If I don't get a review, I get sad. I like the good and the bad because that's what music is supposed to produce. It's supposed to produce a feeling, and
right.
If it's a bad feeling, great, and if it's a good feeling, it's even better.
In 2022, Charlie Puth revealed that Elton John told him his music sucked. Elton texted me his address when he first expressed that he wanted to work with me, which was great. He was brutally honest with me, Puth said. He told me my 2019 music sucked, and I agree with him. It was not good.
Oh.
He basically said I can make a lot better music, and he said that I should just make it myself like I always do. I was like, wow, you're the first person that ever said that to me. But I was thinking the exact same thing when he said it. And if his new album is any...
Whoa, hold on. 2019. Let's think about what Charlie Puth released in 2019, okay? 2019. Cheating on You, Mother. Warned Myself. 3 of the greatest songs Charlie Puth has ever come out with. This comment, I remember reading this, on the social medias. Charlie Puth basically being like, yeah, Elton, you were right. You were right. My music sucked in 2019. Now, granted, this probably has something to do with the fact that he wrote this music at a hard time in his life, I believe. I think he went through a breakup or something around this time, and so a lot of this music, he was going through a phase. He shaved his head, you know what I mean? That phase. I do not think that this music sucked at all. In fact, Cheating on You went viral at a certain point. And he came out with like a small little acoustic piano video that he made covering the song. So I don't know. It just, and also that the fact that, you should just make it like you should just make your music like you've always made your music. He wrote these songs still, and he collaborated with other writers like Jacob Kasher, as he always does. It's not like he didn't partake in any of this writing, and it's not like this idea that he's not writing his music. And I don't know why Charlie, I mean, granted, it's Elton John telling you things. Like if Elton John told me, hey, your stuff that you made last year sucked, do better, I'd be like, yeah, you're probably right. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, it's Elton John. But also, Elton John has come out with so many albums. He has great music. I'm not telling you that he doesn't. But he's a different artist than Charlie Puth. Granted, he's a pop artist. He was a pop artist. But he comes from a different time. That's number one. A time where he literally had agency the entire time of his writing. This is a different time where artists collaborate with each other now. It's rare that you have an artist solely writing their music and that's it. Like, only like Taylor Swift can like get away with that shit. And even then she still collaborates with like, Jack Antonoff or some shit. Like, this is a different time, but it also doesn't mean that, just artists don't write their music. Charlie Puth still writes his music, and also he produces his own music. Like, he solely still does that, okay? And also, I like Elton John. He has some hits, but I wouldn't say he is, one of the greatest in music. That's my opinion. Don't kill me. But I don't think that he has made hit after hit after hit after hit. I don't think his work is as consistent as Charlie Puth's work is. That's just the truth. I feel like I can back that up. I really do feel like I can, even though it's an opinion. But it's true, okay? So I don't know. Mother, Cheating on You, Warned Myself, absolutely incredible production and songwriting masterpieces, especially Mother and Cheating on You. And Warned Myself is just amazing on its own as a body of work. So, yeah, no, but I don't know. Charlie Puth, he's just being nice, right? But I don't know. Maybe he looks back negatively at this period of his life because of the breakup and the phase and everything. So I don't blame him for that, but 3 of the greatest songs he's ever put out. Easy. So that's weird as hell. Anyways, moving on.
Vacation. Charlie's music still sucks, arguably even more than his previous work. I actually thought the bass-heavy songs such as Attention were great improvements for Charlie, and showcased him moving in a more respectable direction. Just nice pop songs with a nice groove. Historically, Charlie has always been hit or miss. No super strong negatives or positives. And with his resurgence on TikTok showcasing his skills, and his very awkward rebrand into a hornball, I felt more inclined than ever to check into the world of Charlie Puth.
Okay, he's a jokester. He likes to have fun, for God's sakes. I mean, come on. Jesus, give it a break. And, just... Look, yeah, 9-Track Mind was a disaster, I guess, right? But even then, half of that album is amazing. We Don't Talk Anymore is one of the greatest pop songs I've ever listened to in my life. Does It Feel as a part of the deluxe version of that album is great. My Gospel, amazing pop song. It's great. I mean, is it Attention? No. But it is phenomenal, and it stands out, to all the other very basic pop that came out, or that has come out in the last 10 years or so. I really do firmly believe that.
I'm not afraid to look insane, 'cause I'm crazy about you. There's nothing that I won't do just to make you love me, love me, love me.
What's that song that he has? As You Are, I believe?
For you, I could climb Mount Kilimanjaro.
And that's a great fucking song. That's a phenomenal song. Suffer's fantastic. I mean, come on. One Call Away is, it's fine. It's whatever. See You Again, the actual legitimate song from him, like the full song without Wiz Khalifa, is a masterpiece. Totally, 100%.
So let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day.
Dangerously is great. As a package, just like his recent album, it's not a masterpiece, but still amazing songs in there. So yeah, no. And then Voice Notes is a masterpiece. So yeah. Anyways, let's keep going.
And his recent album, simply titled Charlie, is one of the blandest releases of 2022. Okay. Charlie went into this album documenting the creation of the songs on TikTok. And to his credit, Charlie Puth appears to be a very skilled music guru. Yet the end product he delivers is less than satisfactory. His Charlie album is an example of how pandering to TikTok and trending algorithms to such a huge extent can leave the artist and their music sounding completely devoid of any true interesting or finely crafted music. The album is 12 songs in just over 30 minutes, and fails to leave a lasting impression. The vocal processing on this album is quite terrible and extremely excessive.
Oh my god.
Which is odd considering Charlie Puth has perfect pitch and has made that such a huge part of his brand.
Okay, alright. A lot of points here. Okay, number one, I put out a review for this album, okay? And I'm sorry, the best fucking review on YouTube, okay? It totally is, alright? Whatever. It totally is. It's honest. I am Charlie Puth's biggest fucking fan on YouTube, and I put out a video saying Charlie Puth's recent album is mid. It is, okay, as a package. Like I said, there are fucking masterpieces in that album, though, okay? But as an album, I understand. And there are songs on there that I'm like, fuck this, man. Like, I have no idea why this is in there. But also, it's not like they're fucking trash. Okay, maybe like one or two, maybe. Maybe, Charlie, don't fucking kill me. But yeah, do I think that, a lot of it was done in sort of to try and capitalize on TikTok trends and all of that? Yeah, definitely. But hey, so is literally every fucking artist that comes out with music today. Everyone is always, I'm doing a reaction video, for God's sakes, okay? Like, everyone does things that, cater to trends or whatever the hell. So that's whatever. He's a pop artist. But also, I think the TikTok thing and everything, I think it did get a little bit too crazy. I've mentioned it before, where like he would tease a song, like he teased Light Switch, and then like he didn't release the song until like fucking more than 6 months later. And by that point, the song was kind of overused at that point. Like we were like, all right, we already know the fucking song, dude. You teased it so many times. So he just should have put out the album much, much sooner. So there's that. So I do agree with that. But necessarily the strategy behind it, I don't think was wrong. I think the execution of it, and how it just played out was a part of the bad stuff of that album release. But God, what the fuck else did he say? Oh yeah, the overprocessing, the autotune. I did mention in my review. Yes, I think he overdid it. But the problem is that the songs where he overdid it were not good. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Whereas, like, he uses autotune in everything he does. And fucking even artists like Bad Bunny use fucking autotune, almost to the point where, like, it's so noticeable. But it almost becomes an effect. It becomes a part of the production. That's a part of being a mainstream pop artist in 2023, in the 2020s, is that. And Charlie Puth, I think it's really fucking awesome. I think it's a really cool contradiction that he's so fucking musically, like, he's so musically proficient that he uses autotune. I think that's so interesting. But he does use autotune in his recorded performances, of course. And I think they become a part of the production. I think they're very solid if the song's great, Like, there's songs that he has where, like, Marks on My Neck. That song is so incredibly high, there's no way he'll ever sing that song, like, live. Maybe he has. But, like, he has to use, like, he has to lip sync or whatever because that song is so fucking high and you notice the auto-tune so badly. But it's also because it is, like, one of the most annoying songs you will ever hear. Like, it is that bad, right? And he uses auto-tune, and that's part of the reason why it's so damn annoying.
'Cause all I got left are the marks on my neck after you let me go. It's hard to forget when you messed up my head, 'cause I let you get too close now.
But, you know, he uses autotune in Smells Like Me, in No More Drama, especially in No More Drama. You can super notice it, but it sounds great. It's not because it's done tastefully or whatever. I mean, yeah, he's not fucking, you know, doing Lil Wayne autotune over here, but it's good. It becomes a part of the production. It's just, it depends on the song if it's a bad song, basically. So there's that. So let's just fucking continue.
He almost sounds lifeless a lot of times on the album. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with using vocal processing when it is for artistic effect and stylistic choices, but instead, Charlie resorts to using it as a crutch, and it is extremely distracting. It's so mechanic.
I already basically addressed this. He just used it because the song, like, here's the thing. Marks on My Neck, for example, we'll take, that's probably one of my least favorite, like, that's probably my least favorite, actually, song on the album. Marks on My Neck. Yeah, Tears on My Piano even has more substance than Marks on My... Yeah, Marks on My Neck is straight up my least favorite song in that entire album. Super auto-tuned, super fucking high, ridiculous, right? It is just, it's so incredibly high. Like, pop artists use super high melodies, like, because it is scientifically proven that high melodies are catchier. It just is what it is. And so, Marks on My Neck is that, and then you put on the autotune, and it just becomes a fucking mess. Like, it's just a bad combination, okay? I think a very annoying in a bad way melody that's super high, you put some autotune on there, and autotune by itself is not the best thing in the world. You're just gonna get a really shit combination, and that is Marks on My Neck. So it's not like he decided to use autotune specifically on Marks on My Neck. Like, he uses it everywhere, and it just so happens to be that Marks on My Neck sucks. And that's why it sucks even more.
The production, on the other hand, is absolutely spineless. It takes after the very popular 80s sound that is plastered on pop radio right now, and some pseudo-pop rock. However, instead of intriguing, gutsy, or simply well-produced pop music, it just feels like cheap wallpaper that chips away with every underwritten and underperformed song on this record.
Nope.
There are some songs on the album that I think have some true potential, like Charlie Be Quiet, but it sounds like a demo.
It sounds like a demo? It sounds like a demo. No. Just because it doesn't have a lot of instrumentation and it doesn't mean it sounds like a fucking demo. Like, that song is very, like, it's very stripped, like, in many ways, but there's so much shit going on, production-wise, in that song, okay?
I'm not going out looking dumb, telling all my friends I found someone, then waking up without you there.
I love that they use Charlie Be Quiet, actually, because that song is the most tug-of-war that I have, if that makes any sense, with the when it comes to the track list, because that song, I think in concept, it's phenomenal. The lyrics are phenomenal. The verses are great. It's the chorus that falls flat for me. But the strategy behind the chorus is great.
Charlie, be quiet, don't make the sound you got to. All the noise, a little bit now. If she knows you're alone, she's gonna run right away.
But I love that they used that example because that song, I think, perfectly shows the sort of conundrum with the album, Charlie. So many great things, but kind of executed in a not so good way, ultimately. But that song is not a demo. Production-wise, it's phenomenal. In fact, that song is a standout production-wise. Another reason why it was great that they brought that song up. That song is one of the most incredible songs production-wise on that album. And the 80s sound or whatever, yeah, so what? The Weeknd's doing it, Dua Lipa's doing it, and Charlie Puth is doing it in a really interesting way. He's combining modern pop with old stuff. I mean, Bruno Mars did this with 24K Magic, and Charlie Puth is just doing it in sort of, he's getting that same tactic and doing it in his own Charlie Puth way.
Light Switch is probably the best song on the album.
Yes.
And that's not really a good thing, considering the entire gimmick of the song is the light switch sound effect. However, it also has some of the more tolerable production on the album. It has a nice bass groove, some pretty synths, and it's pretty catchy. I'm still largely left unsure about how I feel about a light switch being used as a symbol for sexual attraction, but to his credit, at least it isn't as cliche as using food. Left and Right uses a similar gimmick to Light Switch, where he pans his voice from the left side of the speaker to the right side. Charlie is a breakup album, and it's very self-deprecating, but its obvious pandering to TikTok and cliche lyrics hinder it from being something truly compelling.
A lot of these things that they're saying, it could be just down to taste. I think, look, on paper, using light switch as a metaphor for sexual attraction, is it the best, most fucking Shakespearean, most sophisticated idea? No, of course not. But so is fucking 99.9% of pop. Like, that's what that is. Dude, look, most pop music, you put it on paper, it looks kind of dumb, okay? It does, okay? And that's no different with pop, with Charlie Puth's pop. But, like, the way that he does pop is way better than everyone else. That's just a fact. Light Switch is a masterpiece. It is a phenomenal masterpiece. Okay, it is pop music at its purest form because it's taking all the things that makes pop mainstream and catchy, right? Kind of cringe light switch reference, sexual metaphor, whatever, but it has interesting chords in there. It's got really weird chords that no one would ever think to use in a pop song. He is the master at making music sound depressing, but also really catchy and upbeat. That is the genius of Charlie Puth. And it's jazz. Like, that's fucking jazz. You know what I mean? Like jazz is an amalgamation of every single fucking positive and negative emotion, right? Like, that is what Charlie Puth does for his pop music.
This part's really good. He uses that ninth on that, which is beautiful. And then on the major seventh. Then on the D chord, does the second to the third. Really great melody.
When you're moving your body around and around,
Beautiful.
I don't wanna fight this. You know how to just make.
And that's great. Really odd intervals there. Really musical.
But again, a lot of these things can just go down to taste, you know what I mean? Like, actually, I'll stop again. The thing that they said about the lyrics, yes, that was one of my criticisms. I found that the lyrics for this album were not as creative or as inventive or as sophisticated as possible, as sophisticated as you can get for a pop record, as his previous album, Voice Notes. That being said, they may be more simple, but I think the strategies and the sort of overarching theme of the album, I think, is a way better concept and a way more sophisticated execution than Voice Notes. But in the sense of like, there is something to every song. There's something interesting, like Charlie Be Quiet. There's he goes to soft to loud. It's very grungy in that way. And he's talking about being quiet about his love, and he can't hold it in, but he's yelling, "Charlie, be quiet," like that the contradiction there. So there's interesting things going on there. Light Switch is about sexual attraction and you turn me on and then you turn me off, right? And and it's in the instrumentation, literally. Like, it's in not just the sound of the light switch, but literally the song for like a second, like shuts off and then it goes back on. And the metaphor to that as well.
Turn me on like a light switch when you're moving your body around and around.
And other examples as well. With I Don't Think That I Like Her even. Like, there's every song has something to it, that like goes a little bit beyond just a simple pop song. Like, there's more sophistication and thought put to the execution of the song, if that makes any sense. So I'll take that over amazing lyrics, if that makes any sense. I mean, it'd be great if you could have both, but maybe that's just the way they wanted to go about it. Jacob Kasher and Charlie Puth. As long as the songs are good.
Like on the song Loser, He rhymes the word loser with lose her.
Yes, it is clever. That's actually one of the most clever things that this song does. Okay, no, and the song's amazing. So, anyways, continue.
It's not clever, it's just lazy. And the hook is just kind of whiny.
It's not whiny.
His most disconcerting offense comes on I Don't Think I Like Her, where Charlie is welling behind a very thick layer of autotune and processed thin guitars. And the topic of the song is a little unsettling and largely juvenile.
Okay, see, that's just, I mean, largely, what? Like, that's an opinion. I mean, yeah, so is what I'm saying right now. But, like, I mean, like, it's, what do you mean? It's like, people feel like this all the time. Like, haven't you ever experienced where, like, you know, someone breaks your heart and then all of a sudden you become so jaded, you know what I mean? That you don't want to love anyone anymore. You think everyone's out to get you. Like, come on. Like, I mean, that happens to all of us. When we get betrayed, like, you know, we get really jaded. That is not juvenile. That is an emotion that literally you know, like, there's so many great stories, you know, like historic, iconic stories in the world that have that concept. So, you know.
I don't think that I like her anymore. Girls are all the same. All they want to do is break my heart. I don't think that I like her anymore. Girls are all the same. They just want to see me fall apart. It comes across very incel-centric.
Oh no, incel? Dude, no. Okay, alright, you lost me at incel. Just because a man makes a song sort of basically saying, I don't want to be with girls anymore because they all suck. That's not incel. Like, that's not incel. Because, like I said, everyone has this. Women, men, animals, everyone. You know what I mean? Like, everyone, when they get stabbed in the back, they become super jaded. I've met so many women that do the exact same thing, okay? Like, that have done the exact same thing. Literally. Like, I know personal, like, people, you know, in my life. And this is not just to love. Like, I'm kind of paranoid of going out because I have fear of crime. Like, because I have had a couple instances where that's happened to me. And so it's understandable for me to have a continuous fear of crime, right? And so I sort of villainize a lot of things around me, and I'm very suspicious of them. And it's the same thing with love. Does that make me an incel? And especially because I'm a guy? No.
These lyrics would be more forgivable coming from a younger person who's just being an angsty teen, but Charlie Puth is a 30-year-old man. Maybe all girls are not the same. Maybe you are the problem, Charlie. It's you. Hi. You're the problem. It's you.
Okay. Alrighty. See, yeah, I know. I know it. Okay, look. I'm going to say it right now. Taylor Swift, I'm not a fan of the music. I made one video talking about Taylor Swift, and that was to cover her song Lover, which is a masterpiece. And in her first album, Fearless, amazing. Well, technically her second. Amazing album. After that, I have no idea why people enjoy her music. No idea. I do not get it. 1989? Yeah, whatever. You know, I like Blank Space, Wildest Dreams. Masterpieces, I would say. But other than that, I mean, come on. Oh, and False God from her recent album, Lover. Or not her recent, it's been a while, but, you know, and also Taylor Swift is a person that has made countless songs about her exes, but that's okay, right? All right.
Overall, the album is overproduced, but undercooked with more original and personal ideas and lyrics. Charlie Puth rebranded himself as an eccentric music nerd and producer on TikTok, but it comes across less effective when the end result is underwhelming and generic. It's a major regression from Voice Notes in 2018, with songs like Attention and How Long, where it seemed like Charlie was truly coming to his own, making some decent, slickly produced pop songs that were pleasant.
Okay, he's a jazz artist. Like he majored in that shit. Like, he's super in tune to that. He knows classical music. He knows music like the back of his fucking hand. Okay, like, so it's the same thing why I love John Mayer. John Mayer is so musically sophisticated, yet he chooses to dumb down his songwriting for the sake of being more mainstream, but also being more approachable, right? I don't listen to like super mathematical jazz. I don't listen to even like basic jazz. Like I find it kind of, I don't really like it that much. I like really melodic jazz, And Charlie Puth, though, is able to merge, his songwriting jazzical prowess and merge it into his pop songs. Like Attention, especially How Long, he's shown how jazzy that song is. And it blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh my God. Like I didn't know how like fundamentally jazzy that song is. But it's a pop song. You know what I mean? And so, he did that in voice notes. Does he do that as much here in this new album, Charlie? I guess on the surface level, no. Definitely not. It's definitely more, mainstream pop chords. But the really interesting songs, the greatest songs on the album, I think are rather sophisticated. Like I said, Light Switch, Loser. Loser's just a great fucking pop record, like just solid ass pop record. It's I don't think it's necessarily trying to do anything fancy. Although I think if you look at its chords, it's way more interesting than Marks on My Fucking Neck. So, and No More Drama. That's a really jazzy song. Okay, so yeah, I'm not fully in line with what they're saying here.
This is not only an album that was born and documented on TikTok, but it also comes across as an album that was specifically made for TikTok.
Yeah.
The short duration of the songs, the hyper focus on gimmicky little hooks, while the song's overall quality don't get much attention to detail, and the most cliche lyrics that can sometimes come across as if he's trying to oversell and make a Gen Z friendly anthem, but it only shows his true age. It's not reflective of the values of a self-titled album either. Charlie Puth comes across as a figure that would excel as a behind-the-scenes figure, maybe even more than he has as an artist. He's notably written songs like Slow Motion by Trey Songz, Stay by The Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber, and other songs by acts like Zara Larsson and Little Mix. Charlie's idea of branding himself as a music guru is amazing in concept. He's a talented guy. But his Charlie album isn't a strong showcase of that.
That's it? I guess that's it. Look. Yes. Pop artists are trying to make music that will get a lot of hits, a lot of listens, a lot of streams, a lot of TikTok shit. Whoa, what a surprise. I mean, like, literally, I mean, that is one thing for sure that, and one thing that they didn't mention is a lack of the bridges. Like, voice notes had, bridges in the songs. I mean, not like, a lot of them were just kind of repeats of the chorus, but I think they were longer songs, to their point. They were longer songs, and some of them did actually have legit bridges. This album had way fewer bridges, and the songs are much shorter. At least some, like Charlie Be Quiet, for example, is super fucking short. Look, shorter songs, right, are better for algorithms, better for streaming, right? Better for TikTok. Catchier, higher melodies, which Charlie Puth was honestly already doing anyway, but, doing that, for sure, even more in this album. Auto-tune, production, like all that, definitely is a lot of these things. I feel like it was done on purpose to make this album as viral as it could possibly get. And you know what? There's nothing fucking wrong with that, because every single artist does this. In fact, Drake, for example, one of the most successful contemporary artists, puts a lot of fucking songs on his album. Why? So he has literally more ammunition on Spotify and Apple Music. Literally. That's the only reason. Just so people can continue listening to his music, especially albums, right? To get more listens on that album. Like that, it's just that. And I'm not a huge fan of Drake's music. I mean, I think the majority of his songs on his albums are filler. That's how I see them. Fucking Taylor Swift, for God's sake. She is redoing her, entire discography. Just from a pure artistic standpoint, I get the whole reason why she's doing it logistically, but artistically, in the grand scheme of things, you know what I mean? So she's doing that, but also her most recent albums had a shit ton of songs on them. At least Charlie Puth is still only putting 12, 11 songs on his albums. So, there's that, okay? But no, just because an artist is sort of trying to do everything they can to be as viral as possible with their music is fine, as long as your music's great. You know what I mean? People, you know, like is it bad that YouTubers are going to shorts now, the shorts medium, and making, you know, shorter bite-sized videos to appeal, you know, and to get, you know, right now, like my shorts right now are doing better than my videos. You know what I mean? So why would I not do more shorts? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a matter of following the trends and doing what you have to do to get those numbers, but also not sacrificing quality. And I don't think Charlie Puth, his intent was to sacrifice quality. I think in many ways, the strategy behind this album to make it as viral as possible, did partake a little bit too much, and the execution was too sloppy and not the best it could be. And so it may give off the impression that it was done on purpose and this was his intent. No, I think the strategy behind it was he's a pop artist. You know what I mean? Like, every pop artist does this. So, like, you know, everyone follows trends. Everyone does this. So I don't blame him for doing that. I just blame him, you know, for not doing an amazing product, you know, unlike voice notes. But you can do all those things. You can try to be viral. You can make your song short. You can have autotune. You can use, I don't know, cringy Gen Z lyrics or whatever, even though fucking it's pop music, to make your songs as appealing as possible. You can do all those things and make good music, like Light Switch, like Loser, and like Charlie Be Quiet to a certain extent, even though it does fall to its own. You can make the argument that his attempt, I think, to make a song like Charlie Be Quiet be as viral as possible, it did sacrifice on the quality. You can make that argument for sure, but I don't think the just him putting all those elements in the album and in those songs, all those elements that are bad according to this person.
His Charlie album is an example of how pandering to TikTok and trending algorithms to such a huge extent can leave the artist and their music sounding completely devoid of any true interesting or finely crafted music.
I don't think just because he did that's a bad thing. It just so happened, like, the problem is not necessarily the way that he went about it. It's how it ended up, and the actual fundamental art itself. You know, because you can have a great song, and you can fuck it up by, you know, teasing it to hell, and not releasing it, you know, as soon as you can. You can have a great song and fuck it up with the lyrics. You can have a great song and make it too short. Like, it just, you know, that's that. But Charlie Puth doesn't suck. That is what I'm going to say. And I think there's a better way for me to sort of frame everything that I'm saying. But I think overall, finally, my thoughts, this person's thoughts, you know, and sort of a lot of the judgments on Charlie Puth, a lot of it is very, very, very deep, subjective, you know, opinions. And mine are too. Not as deep, I will say, but they are still opinions, of course. And there are plenty of things that I could totally throw that, you know, would totally be hypocritical. You know, it would show hypocrisy, really. But at the end of the day, I think Charlie Puth still doesn't suck. I think Charlie Be Quiet is still way better production-wise, you know, than like anything that has come out, you know, and like artistically, you know, what the song was trying to do and how it's more sophisticated than the typical pop song, even though the end result is not the greatest pop song. I think that's the biggest thing I can say, is that Charlie as an album and every song, at least, with the exception of Marks on My Neck, God, I really fucking hate that song, has more sophistication than any other contemporary artist. And that doesn't suck to me. So, anyways, those are my thoughts on Honest's Charlie Puth Still Sucks video. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with me or if you disagree. Share this video if to Charlie Puth lovers, your fellow Charlie Puth lovers, or if you want to roast me, please feel free to respond to my video or comment down below. Tell me what you think. Am I completely off base? You know, go watch Honest's video. I will link it down below in the description. Even though you already watched it now, don't give more views to that person. Don't do it. You already watched the video here. But fine, if you want to go subscribe to Honest, go ahead. They make a ton of videos. Clearly, like I said, they're doing better than me. So, but anyways, I think that's it. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you, you beautiful creature. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content, and unsubscribe if you think I'm full of crap. But that's it for me. You all take care, stay safe, and until next time, I love you.